Good afternoon. My name is Chris Adam with Youth Pledge for Employers, and I'm delighted to be joined by Darren from Push Forward. Hello there, Darren.
Hi there, you all right?
Yes, not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. Very well.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for giving me your time to speak with me this afternoon. And I guess my first question really has to be, can you tell me a little bit about Push Forward and what it is you do?
Okay, yeah, no problem. So here at Push Forward, we work with obviously young people, secondary and primary. Now, I personally work on the secondary education sector. Within my role, I am currently a delivery practitioner, in which that consists of planning, delivering sessions, evaluating sessions, reviewing sessions, working with young people outside of mainstream to give them and support them and help them as much as possible gain new skills, confidence, social, emotional, to engage them back into some kind of form of education within mainstream, if potentially, if not within an area of their want and need.
It's really interesting to hear and really inspirational to hear. Obviously, I know you can't mention names or anything specific like that, but can you maybe give me a case study example of maybe someone, the kind of challenges they've faced and the barriers they've faced, and how you've worked with them and then helped them into engagement?
Yeah, so obviously with Push Forward, it's a little bit different because we work alongside the council. So obviously, all the young people that come through us come through from a educational setting that potentially hasn't worked out for them. Not their fault, just the way it is. So we are here to just support, ideally, into re-engagement. Now, obviously, since I've been in the company since April, it's probably, and I'm not just saying it, it's probably the most rewarding and most enjoyable job that I've ever had, working as a delivery practitioner, and I've worked in colleges and all sorts of stuff. So it's challenging, but it's very rewarding. And again, going back to the question about working with people, it could be a case that someone has just not engaged in school, just not able to socially interact, not able to commit to sitting in a classroom, are not confident in talking to others. And obviously here at Push Forward, they're the skills that we really try and tailor through social engagement. Could be actually just from communicating, talking to each other, just having a general chit-chat conversation about how they are, what they've been up to, getting into kind of like their needs, their wants, and then kind of working from there. There's been times, for example, where I've had young people come through the door in a first session. They don't even talk to you. They literally just move the whole session. But it's about growth and development and giving young people time to and work on those skills without feeling pressured. I would say that's the important thing about here at Push Forward is we work with young people. We don't work against anyone. So yeah.
And when I usually get to sort of the next question I ask, I talk about the skills and personality traits that suit you well in your role. Obviously, with everything you've said there, with the relationships you need to try and build with young people, where, as I say, maybe plenty of people would have struggled to build relationships beforehand, your skills and your personality traits are probably more important in this role than a lot of people in a lot of the roles they do, if you see what I mean. So what kind of soft skills and personality traits serve you well in your role?
Well, from my point of view, for me to do the job, yeah. I think within Push Forward, we have so many variety of different skills as a staff team. We've got musicians, we've got PTs, we've got builders, we've got plasterers, mechanics. But I think ultimately, what makes you kind of evolve or do well in this type of job is just having that passionate kind of desire to support people and to help people. They're the skills really that you need. You need to be able to just relate, be able to kind of take a step back and not just think this what's got to be done. Let's see and let's put an action plan of how to get to that point. And I think as a reflection, from my point of view, that's where I'm always at. Is like you don't judge, you don't expect, you just kind of go with the flow and you roll with it.
And I think the ability to go with the flow and that ability to sort of, as you say, sort of react and adapt, is a really vital skill set. And, again, my next question is usually always around sort of a variety, the variety in different days, and obviously no 2 days will be the same in your role.
Sure.
You've touched already on sort of the fulfillment the role can bring, and what, and if we could go into that a little bit more, like what in your role, what do the good days look like, and what do the challenging days look like?
Ha, ha. Um, but you know what? A good day is every day, and that might sound a bit like cliche, but a good day is every day. A good day for me is actually having a conversation with someone that didn't want to talk to me yesterday, or actually someone asking me, Darren, can I have some help? Or Darren, can you go and make me a cup of tea? Because actually I haven't had a cup of tea for. Do you know what I mean? They're the
Yeah.
good, because they're the things that actually you're building on. Obviously, the greatest of things are where you see a young person develop, thrive, and go on to college or go on to the next step that they're kind of is in their journey. Yeah, great. But a good day is just seeing a smile on. As much as it sounds, like I say, it keeps saying cliche and all that, but that is what it's about. It's about letting young people be young people and thrive on those skills that they've got, and let's set their ambitions to be able to develop. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. And
a bad day, sorry,
yeah,
a bad day would be again. I don't think it's a bad day is a bad day. It's the role as a delivery practitioner, as working with young people. There's challenges in many ways. It could be a behavioural, it could be emotional, social, it could be something where someone's kicked off and there's a situation and other people have to get involved. But that isn't a bad day. It's just a situation that's evolved and kind of happened at that time. But it's about, again, that could be turned into a good situation because it could be dealt with as a worker to a positive situation.
And if you were going to, so you spend all day working with young people and look at how young people develop and stuff. If there was someone who was looking, a young person aspiring to do the kind of role you do, what kind of things would you advise? Whether it's, work they can be doing, things they could be researching, places they could be volunteering at. What kind of things would you advise them to do to help to develop the skills so that they could do a role like yours in the future?
Just get stuck in. Get stuck in. Don't be afraid to be who you want to be and to develop the way that you want to develop. Like, from my point of view, I never intended to work with young people when I left school. I wanted to play football. I wanted to do sport. And I kind of fell into a bit of voluntary working with young people, and then it developed there through teacher qualifications, etc., into where I am now. So I think I never looked at this is where I've got to be. You just go with, again, it's just rolling with it. You need to have a skill of being able to adapt. You need to be able to think on your feet, because you never know what each day is going to be like. Like I said, especially working with young people that have, let's say, challenging needs, for example, or certain behaviour issues. You need to be prepared to be able to deal with any situation at any point. So just be confident and be able to communicate and relate to what needs to be related to.
And that last point you make about relating as well, I think, like, I work with young people in this role as well, and I think that, how do I put it? I think that working with young people is something that young people don't think about until they get older themselves, if you see what I mean. And as I say, until you probably have that, not even necessarily maturity, but that experience to, as I say, relate wherever possible, empathize wherever possible. So would you say that, do you think that, how do I put it, getting a certain amount of experience, and as you say, getting stuck in your own life has made you better at this role?
100%. Life skills, 100%. I was never a golden child myself, but I always tried. And even that trying could be just getting up out of bed in the morning, attending to where you need to be. That for me, you walking through the door is a big achievement of the day. So yeah, you just gotta give what you can.
And at least we've got on to our final question, actually, because you spoke there about sort of, a little bit about your journey, your path, and what you've learned to be where you are now. If, Darren, you could go back and speak to, say, 17, 18-year-old Darren, taking into account, things you've learned now, maybe mistakes you've made and learned from, successes you've had, what's the one piece of career advice you'd go back and give to your younger self?
First of all, it's always been to achieve my maths and English. Again, didn't really care about maths and English at that age. Just worried about being able to kick a ball in a goal, So it is what it's about, maths and English, getting those just to help me and give me that kickstart to where I need to be, because it's such an important factor on your own career development, maths and English. And probably, to be fair, at that time, not be so kind of naive that everything will be all right, that you're going to have to work hard and you're going to have to put time and effort in to actually get where you want to be. That's probably the biggest kind of kick up the bum I would have given myself at that age, is don't expect, but give it a go.